Welcome to the May 12th, 2026 City Council meeting. Roll call, please.
Mayor Webb.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Washington.
Excuse.
Councilmember Londo.
Here.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Here.
Councilmember LaCuro.
Here. And can I get an approval of the agenda, please?
Move approval of the agenda.
Second.
Any changes, updates, dissension? Hearing none. We have an agenda. Citizen of the Month, Beth Talbert.
It's Beth Tabor.
Tabor,
But
sorry.
unfortunately, I don't see her in the audience
I don't
tonight.
see her either. We'll take care of that at the next meeting if we have to. Business of the Month, Tony's Ace Hardware. I don't see them here either.
All right.
We'll invite them again
We will
next.
invite them to come back next month
Yeah,
and get those, and that will give Andrea Washington a chance to
some
sign them.
signs, yes. We pass these over to Edward there. Thank you.
I can give them to Lisa, give them to Edward, Edward will lose them.
Okay. And we have a resolution to create a National Public Works Monument in Muskegon, Michigan.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is at the request of the city of Madison Heights. Apparently, cities across Michigan are passing this resolution. Muskegon has agreed to host a national monument to public works, and since they are in Michigan, it's the thought of some of our neighboring communities that it would be great for Michigan to host this
Sounds like a good idea.
national honor. So, again, don't know that we need to read it into the record or not,
Let's
but
just make that a motion to accept.
So moved.
Support. Any dissension? Hearing none. We'll accept that resolution and pass it along. And then it moves us to the resolution to recognize May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness Month. And we have a request from Councilman Londo to read it.
Resolution to recognize May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness Month in the City of Hazel Park. Whereas, Mental Health Awareness Month is observed annually in May to promote understanding, reduce stigma, and support mental wellness across communities. And whereas, the 2026 theme, More Good Days Together, emphasizes supporting individuals in achieving more positive mental health experiences by meeting them where they are and recognizing that a good day is defined by each person's unique experience and goals. The theme encourages reflection on what constitutes a good day for oneself and for the community, promoting connection, advocacy, education, and engagement to make more good days possible for everyone. Whereas, mental health awareness calls for healing to begin in one community and calls for open dialogue, lived experience sharing, and connection to help people feel less alone. And whereas, the City of Hazel Park recognizes that mental wellness is essential to the health, safety, and well-being of all residents, and that early intervention, education, and community engagement are key to addressing mental health challenges. And whereas, the Michigan Legislature has declared May as Mental Health Awareness Month in the state of Michigan, and the City Council supports aligning local actions with a statewide observance. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hazel Park City Council hereby declares May 2026 as Mental Wellness Month in the City of Hazel Park with the theme More Good Days Together, encourages all city departments, agencies, and employees to participate in mental wellness awareness activities, including educational events, resource sharing, and open conversations about mental health and life's challenges in a confidential and supportive setting without judgment, retribution, shame, embarrassment, or criticism, and promotes the use of the official mental health awareness color, which is green, in city-sponsored events and communications to increase visibility and solidarity. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And so move.
Mr. Mayor, the representatives from Tony's Ace Hardware are here,
I also think
How you doing,
Beth is here
man?
as well,
and Beth is here.
right?
And
Yeah.
Beth?
No, don't be.
Come on up, Beth. We passed the resolutions back. You got it? He's right here.
Yep.
Where's the other one?
And then we'll do you.
Thanks for making it.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Beth Tabor. I've been working with the Merrill Avenue Community Garden here in Hazel Park since 2013. When I first started working there, it was mostly a place I was just hoping to grow some vegetables for my family and friends. And since then, it's grown into so much more than that. It's become a thriving community space where people not only share gardening tips and produce, but also bond over the love of nature and gardening. We've grown from just a few plots in 2013 to almost 20 plots currently, as well as 5 flower gardens. We grow ornamental flowers as well as native plants that provide valuable wildlife, valuable habitat, and feed wildlife such as birds, butterflies, and bees. Since 2020, we've also had a plant sale fundraiser that not only helps us pay for tools and supplies, it builds community connections and enthusiasm for gardening. In the spirit of community, I want to thank Alyssa Sullivan for nominating me and recognizing the hard work that we've done over the years. I'd also like to thank everyone who has helped and supported us over the years. Everyone on the garden committee, past and present, particularly Melissa Baldwin, who helped me manage the garden for almost 10 years. Charles Lizet, who's been a huge, enormous help managing the garden for over the last few years. And Sean Dodds, who's our current volunteer coordinator, who's been working very hard to get the new gardeners familiar with our gardening community. So to everyone who's supported us over the years, either with donations or hard work or any kind of support, thank you. Your efforts have helped make the Merrill Avenue Community Garden into what it is today. Thank you so much.
I'd like to say thank you for your contributions. And I would appreciate you and enjoying it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beth.
Matt?
And now we have Mr. Matt Abramsky from Tony's Ace Hardware.
Good, thank you. I just want to say,
for your contribution.
yeah, thank you for the recognition, and thank you to the City of Hazel Park and the residents, Hazel Park, and neighboring communities that, make it all happen, because without customers, there's really no point. And, love being here, and we love, whenever we do something, it's always very easy to get things done with the city and all that, like when we did our renovation and all that. And we're blessed to own the business, and thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
How long have you been in the city of Hazel Park again?
I started working for the guy I bought the store from in June of 2004.
Yeah.
And I was told years ago that it's the oldest business in Hazel Park, the oldest retail business. And the historical museum said, I think, 1936 is when it started.
Wow.
So
We appreciate you keeping it here. I
Yeah.
frequent Tony's Ace Hardware often.
we appreciate
We're all there.
everyone that frequents it as often as they can, and come buy some plants.
You're an important part of our community, and thank you for the job that you do, and thank you for your community-minded
Thank you so much.
service to our community. Did you guys want to go down and get a quick picture?
Sure.
Council members?
Sure.
You want us to?
Council members, go down and get a picture with council members. Go get a picture with.
I'll just trail behind you.
You could just post Andrew's face on your body.
Yep.
I'll just hold two of mine like they did at the
Yeah. I'll hold down. Just let the council in. You're good.
Okay, everybody. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good looking crew.
Got you in it. Yeah.
Congrats again. Thank you so much.
I'm glad they. I'm glad they made it.
Thank you, Melissa, for being the photographer.
Of course. I love it.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, that brings us to the budget approval and the truth in taxation. Public.
Still have another
We have
proclamation.
number 5.
Oh, we have a proclamation. I'm sorry.
Proclamation to recognize May 11th, 2026 through May 16th, the National Police Week
Well, that's an important one.
of the City of Hazel Park. Whereas there's more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Hazel Park Police Department. Whereas since the first recorded death in 1786, There are currently more than 24,500 law enforcement officers in the United States that have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty, including Officer Jessica Nagel Wilson of the Hazel Park Police Department. Whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved into the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C., whereas 363 new names of fallen heroes are being added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial this spring, including 111 officers killed in 2025 and 252 officers killed in the previous year. Whereas the service and sacrifice of all officers killed in the line of duty will be honored during the Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund's the 38th Candlelight Vigil on the evening of May 13th, 2026. Whereas the Candlelight Vigil is part of the National Police Week, which will be observed this year, May 11th to the 16th, whereas May 15th is designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of fallen officers and their families, and U.S. flags should be flown at half-staff. Therefore, be resolved, the City of Hazel Park Council will observe May 11th through the 16th, 2026 as National Police Week in the City of Hazel Park and public statutes and service of law enforcement officers in the community and the communities across the nation. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Moves us down to Mr. Edwards' topic here.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, that brings us to our yearly ritual in May, the approval of the coming fiscal year's budget. And this year will be the 2026-27 municipal budget for the city of Hazel Park. I will turn it over to my hardworking Deputy City Manager and Finance Director, Lacey Christensen, who, as we all know, has been designated a finance visionary by the Michigan Association of Certified Public Accountants, and her skills and talents this year were greatly appreciated when she put together a balanced budget. This year, once again, unfortunately, things are becoming tighter in the city of Hazel Park. So after passing the millages in 2015 and then going through the addition of the ARPA monies from the federal government and the boost from the sale of the ice arena, things are tightening up once again, not just in Hazel Park, but in communities around us as well. So I will turn it over to Lacey, who will give you a brief budget update. If anybody wishes a copy of the budget, it's available online. So,
Thank you. As the city manager said, we are presenting a balanced budget for general fund again. There are no major changes, no major highlights this year. We, again, we're just covering the personnel costs and basic running of the city. We do have a couple of projects in the capital improvement fund we're going to look into. There's some vehicles for the police that need to be purchased, a fire truck that needs to be purchased, a fire vehicle, not the fire truck. As you know, we did get 2 new fire trucks this year with the $2.5 million grant with the help of Rep. McFall. But we will be taking on some debt next year for that. Otherwise, I think it's everything is, as you guys have seen, everything is about the same as it's been in the years past. We're asking for about a 30-cent increase in the water, which is minimal compared to where we were 3 months ago when they first came out with their rates. That's about a 2% increase, which again is pretty minimal compared to what it looked like. Everything else, everything's getting tighter. A lot of increases in expenditures with inflation, but we're doing our best to hold the line and meet our costs. I do want to show a couple of quick slides that Brian has. One of our main concerns of the city is our pension costs, and I put together a quick slide showing the historical cost from 2016 to what the estimated 2027 is. As you can see, it was 10 years ago, $2.1 million. This coming budget is estimated to be almost $5.5 million. For reference, our operating millage is only $5.54 million. so about $90,000 more. So almost all of our operating millage goes to pay these pension obligations. We are about 60% funded. So we're holding the line there. We got to be 60% funded when we took the state grant of $13 million a couple years ago. But these costs just continue to rise, as you can see. The second slide I wanted to cover really quickly is we often get questions about the tax rates. Are my taxes increasing, et cetera? They are not increasing when you look at the actual mills. The reason your taxes increase year to year is because the value of your house is going up. But this slide will show you back in 2020, our total city is 36.9, and it's down to 33.2. So every year, due to Headley rollback, it shaves a little bit of the mills off. This year, our rollback factor is 97.65, which means that's a 2.45 reduction in the mills. So we have not added any new mills since the SMORSA one came on previous to this slide in 2014. So again, your taxes are increasing because the value of your home is increasing, but the city is not raising any new taxes. So otherwise, I will answer any questions. I know you all had a chance to look through. Anything that you could see? It's kind of same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, something to point out, we hear from time to time and we see online that people will complain that we allocated the revenues from marijuana to pay pension costs. And they'll say, well, we never got a choice or a say in that. Well, I have to be honest, you don't get a choice or a say. Nobody in the city gets a choice or a say in that pension obligation. It is a constitutionally mandated obligation that we have. We must pay for it. We must pay that obligation before we pay every other obligation that the city of Hazel Park has. So if you do not make the pension obligation, the MERS system will sue us, and the result usually is, when the MERS system sues, is a judgment levy imposed by a court, which would be a tax increase that you have no say-so in. And those types of judgment levies have been levied across the state of Michigan when municipalities fail to make those payments. It's an ironclad, unavoidable obligation that we have. Does that mean that we do nothing? No. Lacey and I and some others, we actually went to Lansing a few years ago. We were instrumental in lobbying the legislature for pension relief. We did receive some monies. We had those monies in a segregated fund. We were making larger contributions, trying to pay down the obligation faster to get to be 100% funded sooner. We've now had to move that over, and hopefully that will reduce a little bit our yearly obligation in the future, because, as Lacey said, it is just about equal to the property taxes you pay for general operating millage. So we have to be very creative in terms of how we come up with money to fund the operations of the city with an onerous pension debt like that. So again, we did get approximately $13 million, and by the time we moved it over into the fund, it was over $16 million because it had gained in interest accrued. So we're doing all that we can, and we're being as creative as we can. But it is important to remember that the employees that we have now are paying the price for the generous contracts that were given, negotiated by my predecessor. And we've been, in successor contracts, they have been nowhere near as generous. And the employees that we have working now, there are very few of them that receive those very generous pension benefits with the higher than normal multipliers that that one section of employees enjoyed. Again, it is what it is, and that was the contract they were given, and that was what they served under in the city of Hazel Park, and we are obligated to meet it. But I want you to know that it is not a choice for the city of Hazel Park. It is not a choice for the council. It's not a choice for the voters. It's simply an obligation that this municipality has.
I have a few questions, if you'll indulge me.
Sure.
So I noticed some significant increases in the hospitalization insurance year over year. What are those attributed to?
So that's a direct pass-through from Blue Cross. So I actually brought the consultants, we use Manquin Vance, who is a municipal consultant for healthcare. They had actually said that, or thought the carrier projected increase was 23.2%. That's what Blue Cross wanted to increase us by. They massaged the numbers. They looked at some of the outliers that Blue Cross would just pass the percentage on, but they took that out. They're passing on at approximately 8.9% increase. So it's just the general trend of what we're seeing in healthcare. 2 years ago, Blue Cross had a large shortfall, primarily due to some of the GLP-1 meds and such, and their short projections on that. So now we're playing catch up with them, not just our city, but across the board. So unfortunately, I think the healthcare with some of the new drugs that are coming out that are, as my city manager will say, are very effective and will keep people around for a long time, but they're pricey. And they're going to,
8%?
What's that?
8%, you said?
We're at almost 9%.
Yes, these are.
That's it?
Yeah.
'Cause I talked to my broker, talking 16, 18% increase this year.
Yeah, and again, like I said, we're hopeful that we're not going to get hit with that kind of an increase based on, the analysis that we've done working with Manquin Vance. And we're proud of this. According to Manquin Vance, of all their clients, and they have most of the ones, and we do the best job of controlling healthcare costs. So I want to thank our employees for that. We're part of the Marathon Health Program and consortium with the City of Madison Heights, Ferndale, Royal Oak, Berkeley, and Oak Park. And we have our own program with our own physicians and physician assistants and nurse practitioners where we can direct our employees, where we're paying for those costs, and they can attend for free. And every time they use that as their health care, it saves us money because it's well below the market cost that we'd be paying at private physicians or hospital systems. So we are as creative as we can be with respect to controlling those costs and still providing effective insurance. And again, these new drugs, they're very expensive. They work, and everybody wants them. So these drugs will keep you alive so that you can keep collecting your pension. So again, these are all costs that we have to bear, and we look for ways to make sure that we're doing it as cost effectively as possible.
So regarding the larger increases in the pension contributions, you said we're 60% funded, which is actually incredible considering where we were at just even a couple of years ago. Is the yearly increase kind of a one-off, or are we going to anticipate some level of relief over the next few years? Because that just looks horrible when it comes to the trajectory.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we pay exactly what MERS tells us to pay. And it's like the past 3 years have been 60%. We're not gaining on any of that 60%. So we're paying just enough to kind of keep us alive and 60% funded. The good news is, the projections show like around 2034 to 2036, we should have a pretty good cliff where it decreases. We'll have a little bit of relief there. So that is 10 years or so out. But if we can make it there should be some good relief at that point. We do have, because we're taking that $16 million and rolling it into the different divisions to get some relief every month, we may see a little bit of a slip in that 60% because, we're not funding at the level every month, but it's giving us immediate relief.
It's giving us immediate relief, but it may delay that cliff. The actuarial projections indicated that somewhere between fiscal year 2034 and 2035, again, these are actuarial projections, and we are not taking into consideration a depression, a recession, a serious economic downturn. If the markets maintain their usual projected earnings rates, we should be 100% funded at that point. And that would, based on their calculations, take us from 5 million plus contributions or more to under 1 million. And that will be a significant period of relief.
That's
but again, that's counting on, that they're hitting their benchmarks for their anticipated rates of return. Part of the reason why the pension contribution went up is MERS, as they're obligated to do so, have to review their actuarial assumptions every so many years, and they reviewed those assumptions, and they lowered the amortization period, They increased all of the actuarial tables, and they lowered the expected rate of return on their investments. So changing those assumptions jacked up our pension contribution rates significantly. We have no choice and no input into those calculations. They're done by an actuary, and we, by contract and law, are required to make whatever contributions they set for us to make.
I noticed for kind of like our fuel allotment, it's essentially just a little bit more over years past. However, thanks to our addled president, I'm paying 20 to 30% more in fuel than I was like a year or two ago. Do we have plans to kind of like absorb those costs if gas prices continue to be where they're at? Are there, have you kind of like built that in?
Yeah, there's another area that in the vehicle, like maintenance area, that we try to build in a little bit of the fuel costs and the fuel increases. Yeah, anything related to vehicle costs and maintenance.
Awesome. And I think my last question, so without getting into too much detail, I know that we are, it's a contract year for 3 of our bargaining units, and obviously would expect to have those costs increase a little bit. Have we proactively identified, areas that we can kind of offset with that in consideration?
As best as I could, yes. It's going to be a challenge. Even budgeting, I did add a little bit of an increase in those few departments, anticipating, obviously contract negotiations. But we'll have to get creative in cutting, depending on those results.
Cool. That's all I had. Thank you.
My question was, earlier today I discussed with Ed briefly about the garbage rate increase. Can you talk about how that's going to affect our residents, where they'll see that new charge or that new rate increase, and what the reasoning is for that rate increase? Because what we hear a lot is, people similar to saying their taxes are going up. It's not the city that's raising your taxes; it's the value of your property. Which is good. We want our property to be worth more, right? That's more investment for us. That's more of our own, what's the word I'm looking for?
Wealth, generational value.
Yeah, generational wealth value. It adds to your bottom line, right? It's an asset. But when it comes to the fees for garbage and things like that, that is not something that the city just whimsically raises, and it's based on the cost of what the service is being provided to us by the service provider. So I was hoping you could maybe talk on that a little bit.
Yep. So it's exactly what you just said. We do have a small millage, and we do add every year a rate, an additional fee onto the taxes that you'll see in the summer. It's going up $35 per household this year. That's thankfully less than $1 a week. We had anticipated going up a little bit more, but we were able to move some of the costs around. The general fund absorbs a lot of those costs as well. And unfortunately, we're just subject to our contractor. That's where a primary, most of the cost is. So we're subject to our contractors. And as everybody has seen in the news, that whole industry is in some flux right now. So we're doing the best to smooth it out. Again, it was less than our original anticipated increase, but this is just an unfortunate way of the United States.
Cost of doing business and providing the service.
Yep. And again, we are absorbing as much as we can and smoothing it out in other funds.
And some of the reasons that they cited for that rate increase also was it the sale of the business, correct, to private equity, but also the gas?
Well, gas, and there are accelerator clauses, which means that we're built into the contract that if their expenses go up, they can pass that on to us.
In a percentage.
Specifically, with respect to specifically the sale of priority waste, we're watching that to see what happens with respect to the quality of their performance. Again, we did not originally contract with Priority Waste. GFL was acquired by Priority, and so now Priority has been in turn acquired with a majority share by a hedge fund. They're telling SACRA that there should be no change in services, but we are monitoring that. And Andy is our representative on SACRA. Tim is our deputy on SACRA, and they can add to this if they'd like, but we're definitely keeping an eye on that situation. But again, there are not as many providers for this service as there used to be. And again, we're doing the best we can to keep our costs down for our residents.
One of the contracts started in '07 that we're under right now, and then were extended in '17, and they're going to end in '27. We are having a little bit of trouble finding out that getting bids because we do what is called Cart Plus. We take everything, and some of the big players don't want to bid on Cart Plus. They want to bid Cart only. And so we've actually gone out of state to invite some companies from out of state to bid on the contracts. And while it hasn't been terrible here in Hazel Park, it hasn't risen to a great level. Oak Park and Royal Oak have experienced a lot of problems. Mm-hmm. And it's making us consider those we put the bids out to. So, but especially in the contracts, they are allowed to increase their rates they have a fuel escalator that is able to be applied every year. It's gone up, it's gone down. It's unfortunate. It's the cost of doing business. Right.
Yeah.
So.
And even with, you have to remember with contractors, we also pay a portion of their employer rates, right? So, the cost of living is going up, so they're passing some raises onto their employees, which is normal. We do it as well, but then we also have to absorb that cost because it's direct expense for them. So it's just the way of the world. Unfortunately, as even so living goes up, it ends up flowing down to us.
Certainly. Yeah. No, but I just appreciate that because I know, many, as we discussed often, many people in our community are on a fixed income or on a very tight budget. So every dollar matters. $1 a week might not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but to some pensioners or to some people on Social Security, it can be very detrimental. So I always appreciate the work that our city does to keep those costs as low as possible, to make sure they're not, egregious inflations, but also to explain why those raises increase. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and we did come in lower than anticipated on the increase to the trash pickup fee. And we did pretty well with water, too. Yeah. We came in lower than expected.
Because we did that resolution a few months ago, and they were looking at 17 to 20% rate increase, and we were like, what? No.
And they do, they do come in high.
Right, of course.
Right.
Originally, but Tim does a great job, and we, does a good job of, and we do have, some projects going on with DWSRF, the lead line, plus a few water main projects, but we've baked that in as well.
Good.
The high cost of that isn't going to hit for a few more years, but we're hoping to smooth it out, so there's not 1 year of a large increase.
That's wonderful.
Well, once again, you've performed alchemy. I'd go line by line in the budget, so you don't have to. And
you did.
And it is just nothing short of just honestly witchcraft. And knowing that, I think one of the things that's not reflected is the negotiated discounts that we're able to get through the water and through the trash and through the fact that we're only having a 10% increase in our hospitalization insurance when everybody in this room is probably seeing like a 15 to 20% increase year over year is honestly fantastic. So once again, thank you for making my job a lot easier.
One of the things that doesn't necessarily show up in the budget is the grants that we've received.
Yeah, those have
Want
been.
to speak to those, Lacey or Ed?
Yeah, so
We can go ahead.
This year, primarily the year that we're in, it'll flow over a little bit into 2027. You'll see most of our grants are in the capital improvement fund because we've gotten a lot of grants for capital improvement. But we're in the midst of the pole barn renovation. That was a grant from both the state of Michigan and from federal government HUD. And we have the $2.5 million that we got for new fire trucks that'll help update our fleet, and that'll get us the next 10 or 12 years with a solid fleet. We have James, our city planner, is working on one that's called Pop-Up Hazel Park. That's going to do that's again a federal grant. That's going to do a nice building down at the south end of John R. What are some of the other grants? We have some CPE training grants from the state of Michigan for the police officers, and that helps to offset a lot of their training costs.
And we're constantly working on, too. We
in the middle of a
submitted a grant cleared a hurdle. I'm not announcing anything until I have confirmation that we're getting it, but it cleared a very important hurdle for some renovations to
I
one of
think
our
we're
buildings.
in the middle of a grant with the fire department, right?
For the 2.5 million?
Yep.
Yep.
We are, but
Not just that
Oh,
one.
that one, yeah, that one's early, yep.
yeah,
We
that
did
was, yeah, we got the 2.5 for the fire trucks, which we should be set, the city of Hazel Park should be set for fire trucks for 20
Many
years.
yeah.
So-
Also, another good one that isn't as known, but we have a carbon reduction grant that the DPW worked with, and we actually just got our first bills. Tim had emailed me our first lighting bills, and they did see a significant decrease.
Right.
So that is, that's a wonderful thing. Not to mention it reduces your carbon footprint.
Yeah.
But that was a grant that we
It's a win on both
received.
ends.
Yes.
And you've been working on a grant through Oakland County Parks to create a senior fitness center with, in cooperation with our former Deputy County Executive Hillary Chambers. So we expect to be submitting that to the County Parks Commission pretty soon. Do we have anybody from the County Parks Commission in the building? Yes, we do. Ann Erickson Galt. I'm sure she will shepherd that through for us immediately, and we will do well.
And even our court, I think I counted the other day, we had over 30 grants going. Even our court has several for mental health court, for some of the drug courts to help keep people, on the right track to get them to where they need to be and making progress for themselves. So even our courts have grants that we're utilizing. We're doing everything we can.
And our new recreation director is also aggressively seeking sponsorships, and she has sponsorships for the Memorial Day Festival, and she's looking for sponsorships for sports teams and everything else. And again, we're looking everywhere that we can find to generate revenue so that we can continue to provide everybody great services.
Thank you.
Any
Thank
other
you.
questions? I just want to say thank you again.
Thank you.
Wonderful job from the whole staff. It takes a lot to do this, and also without the grants, we wouldn't be able to do this.
Right.
And I think you can see what we're talking about, how many it really affects here. It affects us all as residents here and keeping the tax rate as low as we can and the fees as much as low as we can.
I do want to take a quick second to thank Sammy Martin and Samantha Drew, my two. One's the deputy treasurer, one's the finance underneath me, and they've done a great job helping me out. They take a lot off my plate, so I just wanted to make sure that they had some recognition. I couldn't do this without them as well, and they're doing well.
Thank you again.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, you need to open the public hearing.
Getting ready to. We're going to open up a public hearing for the truth and taxation about the budget. Any questions you have, step up.
It's fascinating. Anybody?
And we'll close the public hearing on that. I need a motion from council to pass the 2026-27 City Hazel Park budget.
I'm sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah, come on up.
That's what we're asking.
Yep, please come up to the
You have
mic.
to come up to the microphone.
I can't go into the microphone, I'm sorry. I laid down to modulate my heart rate. My heart rate's been elevated since the elevator.
Can I move that microphone over there?
No, I don't think you can be. It's
Oh,
all set for,
mean,
try to
let's
speak
have-
loudly. What is your name
My name's Ruth Spalding,
and your address?
23786 Vassar Ave.
Ruth Spalding, 23786 Vassar Avenue.
Thank you. Yeah. I was wondering if it would be possible, I saw a budget breakdown, but would it be possible to do an itemized list for the largest item on the budget, which is police?
Well, we pass the budget on a departmental level. So that's what you see, what we have posted online is by department, because that's how the budget's passed.
Okay. So how would I see a breakdown of the police budget then?
You can go online. The budget is online.
Okay.
Is it on the city website, Ed?
Yeah, it's on the city website.
The whole thing,
Yeah.
No, not the whole thing, not.
Oh, just, okay.
not by account.
Because it's passed. on
Does each-
department.
It's passed on department budget.
There's a line item counts, so I think that's what she's asking for.
It's all there.
Not this, because this isn't, like, it's all there, yes, but not, right, yeah, because we put it up there based on how it's on departmental level, because that's how it's
If
approved.
you want to see an
So what-
additional breakdown, you can make an appointment with the finance director, and she'll be happy to explain it to you, or call her, and she'll be happy to give you any additional information that you want.
Thank you.
Okay? Any other comments or questions from the audience on the budget?
Okay, it's closed. Moves us to the motion.
Your Honor, I very gratefully move adoption of the fiscal year 2026 to 2027 budget resolution.
Second.
Any more discussion on the budget? Dissension? Hearing none, motion passes, the budget passes. Then we'll open up to civic announcements. Any civic announcements in the public?
And Erickson Gullo.
You want to come up?
Hello.
Hello.
I got a little bit of a hoarse voice, so I'll keep it simple. Just a couple things. We had on our public health and safety meeting this morning, we discussed community block grant funding. So I'm assuming that you got your award or you've heard about it.
We did, and we are grateful that you funded what we requested to be funded. We wish we would have gotten a little bit more money, but it's consistent with every year since I've been city manager, the award has gone down every single year for 25 years. So, but it's pretty much what we had requested for code enforcement, and we are grateful that we received pretty much what we requested intact. So thank you.
Okay. The only other thing I was going to mention is I did put in for Board of Commissioners sponsorship of the art fair, and that's on our Finance Committee agenda tomorrow. And
I'll be at the meeting.
I anticipate that there won't be any problem with that, although we got it in just under the wire because I just heard that we've exhausted our special projects funding. So
We're squeezing it in. Thank you so much.
So if anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
I will be calling you later in the week about our proposal that we are sending to Chris Ward to create a 55 and over senior fitness center at the rec center. In order for us to do that, we're going to need a storage facility and some weightlifting equipment and workout stuff. So I've already talked to Chris, and Hillary's already spoken to Chris, and you and I have already spoken, and I'm hopeful that this will be a successful endeavor.
I love the idea, and it fits within our new Mission 26 plan for the parks. We have been making an effort to broaden our investment in older citizens' recreation. As we all know, our population in Michigan is aging, and including Oakland County, and so we need to make sure that our parks and rec are available to people of all age groups. So, love it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Ann.
Thanks, Ann.
Sure.
I'm glad you're on that commission as well. That's very, very helpful.
It's the Department of Fun.
Any other civic announcements from the audience? Hearing none, we'll open up civic announcements for the City Council.
Just want to remind people that the end of August, the Hazel Park Art Fair will be happening at Green Acres Park. You can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook for updates, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.
And the full schedule for the Memorial Day week or Memorial Weekend festivities are also online and at our city Facebook page as well.
Thank you for taking that. I was just going to say that. I appreciate that.
And one more thing, I'd like to say a belated Happy Mother's Day to everyone, since our meeting fell a day after or two, to all the mothers out there. Any other civic announcements? Hearing none, open up public discussion. Public discussion is open for anything. Please come up to give your name and address for the audience and the public record and voice your concerns.
Anybody?
Don't all rush up at once.
Compliments. You just walk up. You don't have to raise your hand. Just come on up.
Not so much a public comment as I wanted to mention our community garden plant sale is going to be May 23rd this year. That's Memorial Day weekend, starting at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Merrill Avenue Community Garden.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you, Beth.
That's perfect.
Anyone else? Seeing no one, we will close public discussion. Takes us to the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, the administration respectfully requests approval of the consent agenda.
Your Honor, I move approval of consent agenda items 1 through 12.
Support.
Any discussion on 1 through 12? Dissension? Consent agenda passes. Administrative reports, ordinance to add Hazel Park Municipal Code Title V, Business Licenses and Regulations, Chapter 5.82, Social Districts as follows on the second reading.
Mr. Mayor, this is as we discussed at the previous meeting, and this is the required second reading for passage. Administration recommends approval.
City Council, what would be pleasure?
Recommend for approval.
Support.
Any dissension? Discussion? Motion passes. Ordinance to amend the Hazel Park Municipal Code Title 8, Health and Safety, Chapter 8.5, Outdoor Storage as follows. Delete existing sections 8.50, 0.010 residential zoning districts through section 8.50, 0.040 violation penalty and replacement section of 8.50, 0.010 definitions through sections 8.50, 040 violations and notice on the second reading.
As discussed at the first reading, Mr. Mayor, the administration recommends approval on second reading.
Council?
Move approval, Mr. Mayor.
Support.
Any dissension? Any more discussion? I'll jump. Okay. Motion passes. Ordinance to add Hazel Park Municipal Code Title 8, Health and Safety, Chapter 8.06, Unmanned Aircraft, second reading.
Your Honor, I move approval.
Second. Second. Did that come through? Sorry.
Any dissension? Discussion?
Yeah, I know this is second reading, but just want to reiterate for the folks in Facebook land that this drone ordinance levels the playing field and creates kind of clear expectations and requirements for all drone operators to comply with all FAA guidelines as well as federal law. It prohibits the observation or recording of individuals who have an expectation of privacy, whether they're in their backyard or surrounded by a fence. It requires a 24-hour contact person, whether you're an operator or if you're an operator that has an operations center, so that the city or public safety can get a hold of you in the event that it's necessary. And then in the event that there is an incident, it creates clear expectations of conduct as well as reporting structures in the event that that happens.
Again, Mr. Mayor, this is an ordinance to better protect the people of Hazel Park. Luke took the initiative on this, and the administration recommends approval on second reading. I will caution everybody here, the state legislature has dropped a slew of bills today on drones, so Mike McFall just contacted me about that and sent them over to me, so I will share them with you. So, we'll keep an eye on that as well.
Maybe they just strengthen ours, maybe.
Ours appear to be more stringent than what is coming through the state.
Well, hopefully they will not preempt us from doing the good work that our ordinance does. So we'll keep an eye on them.
We already got a motion on the table and the discussion's been made. Any more discussion? Motion passes. Takes us to ordinance to amend the Hazel Park Municipal Code Title 18, Human Rights as follows. Amend section 18.02030 definitions by adding under 18.02.030 a definition titled Family and Relationship Structure. Amend section 18.02.040 prohibition of adding family and relationship structure. And amending section 18.02 and .050 exemptions by adding section G and H on first reading.
Your Honor, I move approval.
Support.
Any other discussion? Anything get you going there? Okay.
Obviously I have discussion. So what this ordinance does is it adds family or relationship structure as a protected class in the city of Hazel Park. So it prohibits discrimination in employment, in housing, and in public accommodations. And it's especially important as it relates to housing because it protects you, whether you're in a multi-generation household, a household with step families, in a polyamorous relationship, or like so many members of the LGBTQ community, you choose to live with your chosen family. Less than 20% of households today actually resemble the traditional nuclear family structure, whereas 20%, fully 20% of Americans live in multi-generational households. So it's actually more common than a traditional nuclear family structure. More than 1/3 of unmarried cohabitating couples are raising children, and almost 2/3 of non-monogamous adults report experiencing discrimination, including in housing and the workplace. So nobody should be discriminated against in how you love or who you choose to live with. And I'd like to thank staff and council for their support in this ordinance and further demonstrating why Hazel Park is indeed the friendly city.
Okay. Any more discussion? Motion passes. Appointments to Main Street, Hazel Park, and Planning Commission. Anybody got any suggestions, or you want to bring some names to us?
I don't have any, wait a minute, is there? Yes, they're on there. I do have some. Pardon me. The planning department is recommending the appointment of Alexandra Luke to Main Street, Hazel Park, for a term expiring in 2027.
So move.
And the planning and the department is also recommending the appointment of Michael Kosilniak to a term on the Planning Commission beginning July 1st. And we're doing that because he is teaching for a month and we don't want to cause problems with the quorum, so we're making this appointment effective July 1st.
Okay.
Expiring in 2028.
So move. Any old business anyone want to talk about? Any new business? Anything coming up? No one communications from department heads? Any department heads wishing to come up and give any comments?
Chief Hamill.
Hi.
How you doing, sir?
Good evening. I just wanted to step up here and thank council for recognizing Police Week as well as Peace Officer Memorial Day. Obviously, that day in particular is close to all of our hearts. In recognition of Officer Jessica Nagel-Wilson. And I also want to just thank the residents as well for their continued support for the department. The officers would not be able to go out there and do what they do every day without the support that this community gives them. So I want to thank them for that. And that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Chief.
Communications from any other department heads? City Attorney?
Happy May, everyone.
Happy May. City Manager?
After I make my obligatory statement that Michigan's system of municipal finance is fundamentally broken, and we're continuing to work with the legislature and our lobbyists and everyone else that we can to try to find solutions. There are some discussions in Lansing. There are some bills that have been introduced. As they are introduced, they are not a solution to Michigan's broken system of municipal finance. But there are some things in there that could be the genesis of some ideas that, with some changes and some modifications, could begin the process of making some changes that'd be necessary. So we're looking for dialogue. I'm hoping that people will put aside partisanship. And I know that's just like hoping that Santa Claus will bring us something. But I am ever optimistic in that the legislature will come together and actually do something this year to fix the broken system. And then to echo what Chief Hamill said about Police Memorial Week, Chief Hamill was here, I was here, Andy was on City Council, Mike Webb was on City Council. Mike Webb and I were at the hospital when the family was actually told and notified that Jessica had passed. And it is a traumatic experience that I hope I never have to go through again. It is important to remember that police officers are heroes. And I will say the same thing that I said the following morning when I interviewed with NPR. Police officers are heroes. They place themselves in between citizens and danger. And they do that every day. You saw today in the resolution how many officers have given their lives in the line of duty. The danger is real, and the job that they do is critical to our safety. So please remember that. Please do whatever you can to support our police officers and police officers in general. There are, in every profession, a few bad apples. The vast majority of people in law enforcement in this country are hardworking men and women that risk their lives every day to protect us. So they deserve our thanks and our gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilperson Sullivan.
All right. I want to start by thanking Anne, Beth, and Ruth for speaking today. Thank you so much for coming out. Also want to congratulate Beth and Tony's Ace Hardware for their recognition this month. Thank you for all you do for our community. Thank you for bringing people into the fold and spreading that education and outreach, because the more of us that are involved, the better our community is as a whole. So thank you all for that. I also wanted to wish all the mothers, whatever type of mother you are, a happy belated Mother's Day, and an early happy birthday to my dad, because his birthday is the 18th of this month. And since Andrea is not here today, I will echo her sentiment of publish the ERA.
And again, for the record, Andrea Washington is excused today. She is on a long-planned trip, and we wish her a safe and happy travels. Yes. But she is definitely excused today.
Councilperson Londo.
Flagging that I will be absent from our June meeting and asked to be excused. And since I will not be here next month, I apologize in advance for being super verbose, but I say this every year, and I'll say it again. A budget is a reflection of our city's values. And this budget was more difficult and complex than most, but I would like to thank our award-winning finance director, Lacey Christensen, for presenting a balanced budget that prioritizes our public safety, our community programming, and the resources for our residents. And it is way past time for Michigan to repeal the Headley Amendment, but that's a completely different conversation. Once again, I'd like to thank Council for their support and patience as it relates to the drone ordinance. We expect everyone to play by the rules, whether you got a drone for Christmas or are a company with a nearly $3 trillion market cap. As technology gets better and drones become easier to fly, it's important that we're protecting our residents and creating clear expectations on what's allowed. Regarding our amendment to the Human Rights Ordinance, I'm extremely proud of this body for passing an amendment to our Human Rights Ordinance that provides protections on family structure. We're only the 9th city in the country to do that, and the first in the Midwest. And I'd like to thank David Carlson and the entire team at the organization for polyamory and ethical non-monogamy for their support as well as their assistance. I've seen some of these ordinances get dismissed by people who are critical by what they perceive as an alternative lifestyle, but the reality is that a traditional nuclear family is a non-traditional lifestyle. But if you're one of the 80% of people nationwide and the vast majority of people in Hazel Park that lives differently, before today there was nothing protecting you from discrimination in housing, employment, or public accommodations. So nobody should be discriminated against in how you love or who you choose to live with. And Hazel Park is an inclusive community. We value all of our residents, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to bring up this ordinance. Thank you to my colleagues for the Mental Health Awareness Month resolution. Somebody that famously struggles with mental health, it really means a lot that we continue to really destigmatize conversations around mental health and let people know that it is okay to not be okay. Congratulations to Beth and to Tony's Ace Hardware on their recognition. Congratulations to Hazel Park School Board member Ronica Rati for being recognized as one of Oakland County's 40 under 40, is extremely well deserved. On May 2nd, I finally received my master's in public administration, and I'd like to thank Chief Hamill for providing me. Thanks. I started in 2019, so you actually don't need to applaud that.
You finished it.
We got it done. But thank you, Chief, for all of the data and the information that I needed to actually finish. I did my capstone on the efficacy of unconscious bias training within the Hazel Park Police Department. So doing an analysis on whether or not unconscious bias training through MQOLs is effective. And throughout this entire process, I learned more and more about how much of an outlier Hazel Park is. We require our officers to undergo unconscious bias training. And we also mandate the use of body cameras in every single interaction with the public. And you'd think that these things would be commonplace or standard practice or even obvious, but they're not. So it's really gives me a lot of pride to live in and represent in a community where that is standard practice. So with that, happy National Police Week to you and your colleagues. Happy birthday to my friend Parker. I hope that 29 is spectacular for you and that you enjoy the last year of your youth. And finally, to all the mothers out there, a very happy belated Mother's Day. And to Madeline, the mother of our perfect children, Finn and Mira, thank you for being an incredible example of selflessness, steadfastness, and resilience. And where I may fall short, you continue to be an incredible role model, and we're all very lucky to have you in our lives. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilman Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, also, a happy belated Mother's Day to everybody out there, even if you have four-legged children. Thanks to Lacey Christensen and all of those who worked so hard on the budget. It's a lot every year. It's just this deadline that there's a lot of weight on everybody that we have to meet. And congrats also to Beth and Matt as Person and Business of the Month. Last Thursday, a week ago, we had a youth recognition event. And our police chief and our fire chief were both the keynote speakers, and I want to thank them both for that. And the mayor and Ed and everybody else who showed up for that. Weather's getting warmer. Watch out for the bicyclists. Come out and ride with the bike club on Wednesday night. They meet at 6:30 at Green Acres Park. Happy birthday. Today is my daughter's birthday, but she's out with her friends, so we'll have dinner tomorrow.
Happy birthday to Kara.
Yep.
Yeah, I won't say how old because she's...
Necessary.
Thanks. Gives me... It's been a while. I remember when we were 11 and the girls were 11 and they were in our campaigns and stuff.
We were starting out.
Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. And if you love somebody, tell them. If you have children, hug them every day and tell them you love them. And thank you for coming out and participating in the democratic process.
Okay, I think I made a mistake earlier going through the consent agenda. I see some people here that have business licenses approved. I believe we have Cat Nap Cafe here. Would you like to come up and give a commercial?
Oh, congrats.
I made a mistake. I just realized we made a mistake.
People are
We
so
got
excited.
talking about everything else.
Too.
She has a nice little venue there going very well.
Yeah, come on up and
Speak in the
say
microphone.
a few words about your business.
Jessica Conway, Catnap Cafe, 22200 John R. Been working hard every day, getting it ready. So we are excited to house many adoptable cats just for hangouts or potential adoption.
It's wonderful.
Love it, love it.
And you got more going on there?
Yep, and Flawless Fur will be moving down the street to right next to the cafe. So it'll have a nice new updated spot for pet grooming.
Well, thank you and welcome.
I'd
Thank you.
like to thank you for the wonderful care that you do for MMA twice a week.
We love it.
Every week for a year and a half. Her teeth are perfectly white, her health, her coat. She's allergen-free. Thank you.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
And thank you for making it affordable. The care is excellent and the cost is affordable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And do we have another business license owner here?
Do we have anybody from Mothership Cult?
Incredible business.
Do we have anybody from
Say that.
Crash Collision? Okay.
There's, what was the other one?
Missed any?
ENS Activewear.
Okay.
Okay.
Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I'm sorry about that.
Very good.
Mothership.
I do want to say thank you to everyone for coming out this evening. And all again, belated Happy Mother's Day being May. I think that's the most important day of the month. As we all respect and love our mothers one way or another, I think we have the opportunity to be here because of them, and that's the way I feel about it. And you need to honor them at all times. But we give them the structured day, and everybody thinks it is, but I think it's every day is their day. I also want to say thank you to the police chief for doing a good job, and the fire chief for coming out to the youth assistance and gave wonderful speeches. I think that your speeches were well done, and I think the students were well receptive to them. And it goes back to the resolution for the Police Officers Week. I was there too with, like I had mentioned, we was there for Jessica's family and the announcements and everything. But all officers are family members. They have kids, they have wives, they have family members, their sons, daughters, nieces, whoever. Their relation to someone down the road, they're just like us. They're just willing to do a job that so other people may not, that don't want to do the job. Their efforts, cannot go without, are really unspoken, what they do and how they stick up on our worst day and they come see us and protect us, or they come and get us and hook us up to an ambulance and take us to the hospital. Those are our worst days, our car accident or whatever. But they're there for us, and that's what we pay for services, and they're willing to step up and do that job. Not everybody can do that job, and not everybody's willing to do that job. And I just want to remind people they're humans, they have feelings, and they're willing to go the extra mile for us. And I want to say thank you to them one more time. Thank you, Matt and Beth, for coming out. Congratulations one more time to you guys, and welcome again, and thank you for all the help and all the work you do in our community. Beth and Matt, thank you for all the service your company provides, and as well as you. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you.